In the past video, I went over 10 things that can cause dementia. I strongly recommend watching that video before watching this one, since it will give you some background on what I'm going to say in this video. At the end of that video, number 10 on the list of things that can potentially cause dementia was anesthesia. Here's a much more detailed explanation about why certain anesthetics, particularly the halogenated gases, may be a concern for your brain health. And if you felt that your brain wasn't working that well temporarily or permanently after undergoing general anesthesia, you'll definitely find this video helpful. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Park, an ENT surgeon and sleep medicine doctor. But more importantly, as a holistic and integrative doctor, it's important to address not only your sleep and breathing, but everything else, including what you eat, your indoor and outdoor environment and activities, your relationships, and your emotional and spiritual states as well. Here's my take on this anesthesia and dementia issue. There's no doubt that there can be cognitive decline after anesthesia, especially after being exposed to halogenated anesthetics. This has been reported many times, and I'll place links to these studies below. And there are many potential pathways to injury, including higher rates of liver failure with one of the older gases, halothane. Note that halothane contains 3 fluorides, 1 chlorine, and 1 bromine molecule. This gas is rarely used anymore due to its toxic nature, and now we have much better options. In fact, all the more modern halogenated anesthesia gases have multiple fluoride atoms and some chloride atoms as well. And as a result, there's been some concern about these fluorocarbons being greenhouse gases, ozone depleting, or both. After being metabolized in the liver by one of the cytochrome P450 enzymes, you get the volatile metabolites 2-chloro-1,1-difluoroethene, CDE, and 2-chloro-1,1,1-trifluoroethane, or CTE. According to Wikipedia, CDE is a highly flammable and volatile chlorofluorocarbon that's used as, quote, an intermediate in the manufacture of fluorosurfactants, fluorine-containing textile finishing agents, organic silicon fluorine-modified resins, and other fine chemicals containing fluorine, end quote. And CTE is, quote, a colorless, odorless gas. It is shipped as a liquid under its own vapor pressure. Contact with the liquid may cause frostbite on unprotected skin. It can asphyxiate by the displacement of air. Exposure of the container to fire or heat can cause it to rupture violently and rocket, unquote. It's also used commonly as a refrigerant. Sevoflurane, one of the more popular anesthetic gases, also gets metabolized in the liver by the cytochrome P450 pathway. It gets split into free fluoride and hexafluoroisopropanol, which is an industrial solvent. Here's an interesting early study on the metabolism and biokinetics of sevoflurane. They estimated that about 5% is metabolized by the liver and ultimately excreted by the kidneys. What's interesting is that they calculated that about 1/3 of fluoride is cleared into bone. I wonder where else in the body fluoride goes to. In the field of pediatric anesthesiology, there are also concerns about the risk of giving long periods of anesthesia to newborns and infants in terms of their developing brains. It seems to be more of an issue for younger or premature infants and for very long or repeated procedures, such as for heart or brain surgery. So what's the takeaway from all these studies? We know that in animal models, giving fluoride to rats was found to cause damage to the liver, with much lower production of free radical scavengers, such as glutathione. As mentioned previously, fluoride is found not only in our water, but in many prescription medications as well, including various anesthetic agents. Now let me put another twist into this disturbing scenario. Glyphosate, the weed-killing agent in Roundup, made by the former Monsanto company, is known to block the liver's cytochrome P450 enzymes. Glyphosate is present at high levels in much of our food supply, especially anything with processed grains. So if you're exposed to glyphosate, you're probably not able to detoxify toxins in your liver very well because of glyphosate. So this will make you more susceptible to liver damage due to not being able to detoxify various toxins or drugs. Of course, the younger you are, the more likely you're able to overcome any temporary setbacks by these anesthesia gases. But the more variables you have that prevent you from healing in your body, such as other toxins including glyphosate, or other comorbid medical conditions, and older age, the more susceptible you'll be to cognitive impairment and future dementia. So the good news is that the more you can avoid any or all of the items I outlined in this and in the last video, the lower the chances that you'll suffer from cognitive decline or dementia. Even if you're much older, by addressing some or all of these issues, there's always room for improvement, at least to slow or stop any progression of your cognitive decline. I just want to emphasize that I'm not saying that you need to stay away from anesthesia or ask your anesthesiologist to avoid using these gases. Anesthesia is vital for many important life-saving procedures. However, there are risks for any medical procedure, just like there are small but definite risks whenever you drive. The main point I'm making here is that the more you try to live a healthy life by eating a healthy diet, or get exposed to lots of sunshine during the day, and all the other various habits that I talk about in my videos, the less likely you will be at risk of any further cognitive decline or dementia. And if you're worried about these issues at all, go back to my previous video on the 10 ways to prevent dementia, up here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Again, please remember to click the thumbs up button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future topics related to your brain health and in your sleep. Until next time, goodbye.